What's up, guys? My name is Mitch. I'm a diesel mechanic. Been doing this for about 10 years now. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And today I'm going to be tackling my own project. I got a 96 Kubota b2400 with a 3-cylinder Kubota engine in it. It's got a lot of blow-by. It's not starting real well. So I'm not sure if it's injector, fuel, compression, or what. But I don't have a garage. So that's what we're going to be, this is how we're going to be taking it out in this lovely weather. So stay tuned and I'll keep videoing as I go. So right now I'm just draining the coolant. Getting the coolant drained out of her. I'm going to get the rad off, all the supports, and then see what else I got to take off for the engine. Start marking wires. Try to remember where they go. Who knows? I know it needs a new wire harness, so I'm gonna at least try to mark it. Make sure I understand where the fuck they go. And yeah. So once I get the rad off and shit, I'll check in with you guys in a minute. Tell you what, it's really fun working in the snow. Lose half your shit. Your hands get cold. Anyways, what I meant by marking the lines when you're taking off your electrical connections and fuel or whatever lines that you have that you're going to take off. This is how I do it. I have this telephone wire. I used to work for a demolition company and we'd get this shit all the time. It's got a bunch of different color strands in it. So you take that, cut it in half, and you know, put them back where they need to go. So that way, when you put this thing back together, you know where your wires go. So different color for each wire, works out pretty nicely. I did the same on the fuel line here. You know, it is pretty self-explanatory, but for this at least. But you know, just to be safe. So the next thing I got to do is the hydraulic pump here. I gotta get the lines off and they're pretty tight on there. I got this one loose. So I gotta go back into the back here, see where it's connected to. I'm guessing the PTO or whatever. And get them taken off and get them free and out of the way. And actually doing pretty good here. I'm gonna leave the fuel tank in if I can. I don't want to take that out. Full, I'm pretty sure, so it's pretty heavy. But then I got to get the bell housing bolts out and the mounting bolts. And I don't know about yins, guys. I have a service truck with a crane. Work lets me use for my needs when I need it. So that's how I'm going to be getting this thing out and over to the walkway there, and I'll get the engine stand over there and get it bolted up and wheel her inside in the basement and start tearing her down. But I'm gonna keep going on this and hopefully we're getting it out soon. As you can see, radiator's a little plugged up. That's okay. Alright guys, quick little update. I'm cold. It's cold outside. And my hands are fucking freezing. I'm gonna fall off. So, right now I am, oh, bright light. Right now, where are we? Still trying to get the engine out. Looks like I am gonna have to try to pull the fuel tank. There's some bolts underneath the fuel tank that I have to get out for the bell housing. Other than that, everything's almost off. Power steering lines are off. Most of the wiring's off. I'm sure I'll break something off here when I go to rip it out of there. But other than that, we're doing good. Pennsylvania. So here's what we got going. I didn't want to pull this fuel tank. I was trying to leave it on there. But I don't know if you can see way back in there. This bolt right here runs through this plate. And I need this plate to come off. It's like a heat shield for the fuel tank. I need that plate to come off, so fuel tank's gotta come out. Before I misled you, these lines here, I thought they ran back to the hydraulic system, PTO, whatever. Nope, they are power steering lines, and they run up under here into the column, steering column there, and I can't get this fucking piece of shit off because I can't get this piece of shit off. So it's staying on there. I just loosened them lines up there, and got the one fitting out from this side, so it gave me room, but this one runs into there, so I'm sure when I pull it out, it'll break. But that's okay. We have money to fucking buy a new one. No, we don't. No, we don't. Oh well. But this side's pretty much almost done. Everything's pretty much off of it. Could get this one coolant line off. I don't know if I'll leave it on the engine or leave it on the frame there. Starter, I think the starter can stay in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Runs in the flywheel, which runs into the bell housing here. I don't know if it should be able to stay in there. Yeah, we'll leave it in there. We'll call her good. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully this engine tank, or this fuel tank, sorry, doesn't give me such a hard time coming out of there. I know this bracket's got to come off. And I think only a couple bolts hold that on, so hopefully she just, you know, pops right out of there. I doubt it. Okay. So here's where we're at, guys. Got the fuel tank off, splashed diesel all over my face as I was doing it, so that was cool. That normally should happen when you're dealing with anything, diesel, coolant, gasoline. You need to get it all over your face and your mouth, because that's, I mean, you're not a mechanic if you don't do that. So got the tank off, got the heat shield off, and here's some issues that I found with the wiring. This is why I'm checking the wiring. If you see that, that's bad. That's no good. That's for the key switch. My issues were the fuel shut-off solenoid, which goes right here, normally kept getting insanely hot and would actually fry the whole solenoid. I kept getting new ones. It would last sometimes a day, sometimes 3 minutes, and it would just fry it. Chased ground, got power, no power. I mean, it was just a nightmare. So I completely removed that because this is a mechanical engine, so didn't really need anything electrical on the motor. So I removed that. But I kept everything else on until my dash quit working. Nothing on my dash would work. My key wouldn't work, nothing. So then, you know, right thing to do is put a screwdriver right to the starter and get her fired up. So that was how I used it the last couple times. And I mean, as much fun as that is, it's not right. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna look for an engine harness for this thing and a dash harness, and hopefully they're readily available so I can get that changed while I'm this far. But as of now, we're looking pretty good. Everything's disconnected. Wire harness is completely disconnected. I gotta find out where the mount is on the front. I'm really trying not to crawl underneath this thing as much as possible because it's a muddy, snowy mess. Quit snowing, so that's good. But, so I'm pretty sure those bolts right there, them 4 bolts right there, hold her in. And 4 more up there. And then get the bell housing bolts off, and hopefully we should be rocking and rolling, guys, and get this fucking motor out. Stay tuned. So I was just getting some of these bell housing bolts out, and I was using the old DeWalter to get most of this project done and get these bolts out and shit. But I had to go ahead and switch to the Milwaukee. I don't know what your guys' difference or preference is, I guess I should say, of Milwaukee DeWalt. Personally, I'm a Milwaukee guy. I've had that 3/8 gun for, fuck, 7 years or something like that, and this thing's held up pretty good. 3/8 gun. It's been really good to me so far. The old DeWalt I got pretty cheap through a Napa dealer. Just a spur buy, something to keep at the house. Some of you might be asking, well, Mitch, hey there, Mitch. What you got some tools in this truck? Why don't you just use those? And I am, when I need them. I don't like to pull tools out of my service truck because I tend to forget to put them back, or I like to lose shit, and I didn't want to lose anything in the snow. I grab stuff while I can. Something that I did grab and that I highly recommend are these Sunex Wobble sockets. I've used the hell out of these. This is the metric set. I have the standard set as well. I love these. Like I said, they're Sunex. I think they're 60 or 80 bucks set. I'm not sure. And I know a lot of people are Snap-on fans and, you know, whatever. All right, I'm waiting for the old service truck to warm up there. Gotta get the front end lifted up, get a jack underneath that tranny in the second half. And I got most of the bolts out. I left a couple in there so that those bolts there are what hold the motor into the frame piece. And then I'm gonna leave, I took most of them out, but I'm gonna leave 4 in, so that way once it's split, I can just roll it, set it on another jack stand, and you know, I only got 4 bolts to get out to get the motor up out of the frame. Still got a couple bell housing bolts in there. And then once I have this split and the motor out, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw the motor on the stand real quick. And then what I'm most concerned about today is getting the rest of the tractor buttoned up and covered. So that means I'm gonna go back through, make sure all my lines are capped, nothing's left open. As you can see, I left some hydraulic line open just for now. I will put some plugs in there. You know, if you don't have, I have plastic plugs that go in there. If you don't have them, bolt works, or sometimes I'll take a rubber glove and put it over here and zip tie it on there, and then maybe a rag over top of that too, just to protect it. It's all on what you prefer. You know, I like to put them plastic pieces in, but I have those, so not everybody has those. So, well, hopefully this truck doesn't take too long to warm up. My dog's out there wandering around down there in the valley, so we'll get this truck warmed up and start splitting her. was missing. I thought that flywheel was a factory press on, and it's not. It's got the bolts. So we got the clutch pack off and took the bolts out, and she's inside finally. I don't think I'm gonna do much with it yet. I'm gonna have to I'll pull the injectors and shit first, and probably replace them. These are your injectors here. 3 cylinder. I'm not sure if I'm pulling the head yet or not. Like I said, it's got a lot of blow by, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Hopefully not a compression issue, but I'm gonna have to rig up a way to get her to turn over and check compression on it. And then real quick recap of what we had to remove here. I'm still working on getting my shit cleaned up and all the holes and stuff plugged up. So pretty much what we had to do is remove the radiator, drain the coolant, remove the radiator, remove the fuel lines, fuel tank, and the heat shield to be able to get to these bolts here. So we removed all that. I had to remove the hydraulic cooler lines off each side for the front, the power steering lines. I did take them off on the column here because I had the fuel tank out anyways, so I took them off there. I'll plug them up. This is your main feed for your power steering pump. Hydraulic, had to take that off. Your normal throttle linkage, the 4-wheel drive linkage I had to take out. I had to take the steering bar out, or at least off, because this did split. So we got that, and then all the bell housing bolts come out, and then I pulled it away and then removed the engine, which I think I'm going to kind of do it a different way to put it back together. I think I'm gonna put the engine on that first and then put that onto the engine, because that just bolts to the engine. So I think I'll put the engine back on that first. I think that'd be easier, because it was a bitch trying to get that off when it was freestanding, so I'm sure it's not gonna be fun getting it back on. I took this panel off, the foot panel off here, to be able to get to some of this stuff a little bit better, and loosen some clamps to move some of these lines and get them freed up. And yeah, so that's where we're at now. And if you guys want to see more of this, let me know. I'm going to start tearing the engine down maybe tomorrow. So if you guys want to see that, let me know.